Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yobi, and I'm here to talk about if there really is a free lunch in America or not. The truism is that there is no free lunch. And how this was accepted for the American public is because it is true. There really is no free lunch in America. But I'm not here to talk about you how there is not a free lunch. I'm here to talk to you about what if there is a free lunch, to the people that believe that they are getting money and it's just coming out of nowhere and no one has to pay for that. Welfare is a great example of this. Welfare is defined as a public aid from the government. It helps achieve the minimal level of living conditions. You're not supposed to live comfortably under welfare. It's supposed to help you until you get back on your feet and you find your job and then make you enough money to live comfortably. And this money does not just appear from anywhere. It comes from other hardworking citizens who get the taxes are taken out of their paycheck to be able to pay for this welfare. One of the quotes that I found, the economic theory is also the lay option that whatever goods and services are provided, they must be paid for by someone. An example of this, you don't get something for nothing. And like I said earlier, there's nothing that is free. No matter what happens, no matter what's paid for, even if you're not paying for it directly out of your own wallet, someone else is paying for that for you. This could be coming from different ways. This could be from raising taxes. In extreme cases, someone can even lose a house. If they're on the cusp and taxes are raised, then they might lose a house because they can't afford their monthly payments anymore. The thought of a free lunch makes people want to work less. Say you guys have your own job. You're making a decent amount of money, and the taxes are raised, and you get money taken out of your paycheck to give to someone who's doing nothing. They're at home sitting, they're out of work, they're getting unemployment, but they're doing nothing, and they're getting your money that you worked hard for just for sitting and doing nothing. Would that make you want to work at all? I mean, I wouldn't want to work. I'd rather be sitting doing absolutely nothing, getting money for it. It's like the best job in the world. The minimum wage in Ohio is $7.70, and if you work 40-hour weeks with that minimum wage, you make about $308 without taxes in a week. The unemployment wage is about $273 a week. So looking at these numbers, would you rather be sitting on your tail doing absolutely nothing at home, making almost as much as someone who's working their tail off in a business, like say a restaurant or just a store in the mall? When I was just comparing minimum wage and unemployment, people are making almost as much money for doing nothing compared to doing a job. It's not worth it. It's not worth going out there and working for a job for 40-hour weeks. You'll get tired of that. No one wants to go to work every single day and work 40-hour weeks. You won't put forth effort in your job if you do, because you're getting paid so little compared to people who aren't even doing anything. So I'm not going to want to work hard for the employer unless I have a chance of getting a raise or anything like that. And for the socioeconomic impact, I just touched on it. There is no incentive to work. I don't want to work. No one wants to work making little money compared to people sitting at home making almost the same amount of money. This kind of creates a Robin Hood mentality where you take from the rich and you give to the poor. You take from the hardworking and you give to the people who are not working. For real-time examples, Obamacare is very similar to this. Obamacare was established to provide affordable health insurance to the American public. This money doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes out of working people's taxes and other things like that. Another example is food stamps. They're at a record high now. 1 in 6 Americans are on food stamps. That translates to 15% of our country is receiving food stamps from our government, which comes from the other working people's paychecks. I have a video that I prepared that I found on YouTube, and it's talking about Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama are having a discussion, and it's not exactly the same thing as what I've been talking about, but it is very similar.
E.
Thank you. What he's talking about is, I'm talking about the money aspect of this, Ronald Reagan kind of puts this into like a small story talking about just school grades and how people work hard for their grades and some people don't work hard for their grades. Even though people are working hard, they have to give a little to the people who are not working so that their lives, in this case their grades, are affected by this.
So the professor was teaching one day when one of his students came up with what he thought was a brilliant idea.
Professor, on behalf of the entire class, I would like to go on record and say that socialism works. It gets rid of the upper and lower class. No one is rich and no one is poor. We would all work hard and we would share everything.
Oh man. Yeah, go us.
Sounds wonderful. We'll be able to have private jets, right? Don't think it'll work very well.
I feel what you're both saying, and I'm willing for it. We're both very intelligent.
You!
It wasn't me.
Right, let's do a little experiment. All grades will be averaged for the next test, and everyone will receive the same grade.
Well, that sounds good. I mean, the best students will still have pretty good grades, and now nobody will feel like a failure.
Read my lips. No one will be a failure. Right, son? You got it, Pop. This is great news. I better text my buddy Carl. Red Rover, Red Rover. You need to send those answers over.
Yeah, you probably would have got caught anyway. Wish I had that on tape.
So the time came to put the experiment to the test. It didn't seem like much changed. Maybe one or two had downs.
Very good question. Very direct. And I'm not gonna answer it.
Here, I smoked it, but I never inhaled.
I know, you're not a criminal, right?
I exhale everything.
Well, class, the results are in. Everyone got a B.
What?
All right, go us.
Bill, this is all your fault. I demand a recount.
Hey, this is perfect. My average just went up. No child left behind, right?
What are you doing? I'm very
The students who had studied hard were upset, while the students who had studied very little were happy. But when the next test rolled around, the students who had studied little studied even less. And the ones who had studied hard decided, since they couldn't make an A, they wanted a free ride. So they also studied less. The second test average was a D. No one was happy. When the third test rolled around, the average grade was an F.
I like the color red because it's a fire. I always see myself as being on fire.
The scores never increased as bickering, blame, name-calling all resulted in hard feelings. And no one would study for anyone else. To their great surprise, all students failed.
So, as you can see in this video, even though it's a silly video talking about school and it's not really related to our economy, you can see that the students that tried were very upset when they received a B. They believed they deserved an A. The students that didn't work at all, they were excited, just like you saw George Bush. He couldn't get a B on his own. His average went up with that. But in this movie, you saw they wanted a free ride, which I translated into a free lunch, and that's just not possible. Our economy is not able to do that. You have to give a little to give some to the other people, which no one wants to do that. So thank you for listening to my presentation. Yes?
With your video about that, did you ever hear the actual incident of when Clinton was in college and he actually tried to have that happen?
No, I did not hear that.
He tried to actually do that, and I was just laughing. I was wondering if you thought if you'd actually do that before him, because they actually tried to have it where everyone in the class got a B.
I actually found this video a while ago. And I actually thought about it with social economics, like for socialism. But then this came around. I thought it was a perfect example. It's a silly example, but I mean it does fit very well. Is there any other questions?